What is up, my most amazing Media Man fans? This is the Media Man. Hope you guys are doing awesome. I really do. Missed you guys. I know I haven't done a Media Rant in a while, and I do apologize for that. You know, just you get busy. You make these promises. I'm gonna do one every week. I'm gonna do a couple every week, and I certainly mean to. But between my Let's Plays and the other things that I'm doing with my channel. Plus, you know, I have a regular job and family and all that stuff, so just trying to get everything, all my ducks in a row and everything in order. But I will be doing more of these once a week, and part of what's going on with this channel, just to let you guys know, moving forward, they will be shorter videos, between 15 to 20 minutes. One of the things I realized, I have some great friends who watched my last Media Rant and said, "We really like your content, we think you did a great job, but 40 minutes was long." You know, listening to my voice for 40 minutes, you know, when I'm not blowing something up and reacting, I do realize is quite a long time. So for those who watch my videos and stick with me, I really appreciate it. I really do love you guys. But just know from here on out, I'm going to try and have more Media Rants, but a shorter time, so you're not you know, you're not watching 40 minutes to an hour of just me ranting and talking about whatever comes to mind. So this way I will focus. You guys will get, you'll still get the same excellent Media Rant in tiny, tiny pieces, tiny bites. So there you go. Saying that, let's get on with it. Now the first thing I want to talk about is something that's just been driving me up the freaking wall, and that is Switch has too many games. Now, as those of you who have followed me know that I can't stand complainers anyway. I think there's a lot of whiners and complainers on YouTube. Maybe I'm one of them and I just don't know it, but it does drive me kind of crazy because, you know, there was that whole Xbox doesn't have enough games, and I was one of the ones that said that, so I do want to be clear on that. And now Switch has too many games. Too many mobile ports, too much crap. They don't have any good games. Game of the Year, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Bayonetta. Gosh, I mean, I could go on, not including, you know, that doesn't even include all the great indie games that they have, that they ported over. And yes, some from mobile. Which I actually don't mind, and here's why. I don't like playing games on my phone. I just don't. I'd actually be happy if they brought over Summoner's War on the Switch, because I don't like, you know, the idea of I'm playing something and the phone rings. You know, I'm not much for the whole touch thing. It's just not for me. So the fact that I'm getting these games, some of the better ones and some of the worst ones, on the Switch actually kind of makes me happy. And the variety that I have, you know, close to 100 games, if not 100, I don't remember. And a lot of them are games that indie devs sent me, and I'm able to get these because they're porting them over to the Switch. And I think they're phenomenal. I enjoy a lot of them. A lot of them aren't great. But the fact that I have that variety, I think, is a good thing, and I think it's never, you know, my view has always been, if you don't like the fact that they have so many mobile games, don't buy the mobile game. No one's, you know, pushing you to buy these mobile games. There isn't someone going, you must buy my game. You know, I ported to Switch, you must have. No one is forcing you to buy them. Speak with your money. Don't buy the game. Let me enjoy them. I don't care, you know. But you know, the reality is that, you know, by allowing indies to port their games, you know, even the mobile games or just indie games made for this system, or, you know, ones that are ported from other systems, you may discover the next Minecraft. I don't know if you guys remember when Minecraft first came out. It was. And I have a hard time saying it's an indie game now, but it is an indie game. Millions sold. Tons of YouTube careers, you know, started by this game. And, you know, it was an indie game. You know, what if someone had said, you know, gosh, the graphics are blocky, and I have heard that before. You know, they look terrible, they're blocky, they don't have all the textures and detail and everything else. This game is garbage. You know, but you know, instead that, you know, Mojang took a gamble on this game and put it out there, and it's sold phenomenally. It's a fun little game. I don't do as many videos because there's so many out there that do, but this is how you discover great new games. So yeah, you could argue there's a lot of mobile ports and a lot of crappy mobile games, and I'm sure there is. You know, I mean, that's really why you watch channels like mine, because I will be reviewing them and letting you know what's worth getting, what's not worth getting. So definitely check this channel for that. But you know, it always amazes me when people complain about stuff like that because there's too much variety. It's like saying there's too much metal, there's too much, you know, I don't like these particular bands, and you know, there's just too many people making records. And I've always said, well, that's more variety. Same with movies, same with any other kind of entertainment. So if Nintendo has 500 games and 200 of them are garbage, that's still a lot of games. That's still a lot of good stuff. And there is a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of great indie. And, you know, I will do a video very soon on some of the cool indie stuff that's under the radar. And I can't even cover it all because there's no way, because there is a lot. Some of them I've sent over, thankfully, from devs who believe in my channel, and other ones I pay for myself. I'll always let you know in the video. But I just think it's so ridiculous and so funny to me that people complain about it, you know. Don't buy it. And no, their games aren't crap. There are crappy games on there. There are crappy games on every single system. There are a ton of crappy games on Xbox One if you include their backwards compatibility stuff. And even if you don't, there's still plenty. Same with the PS4, same with the, you know, any of Sony's consoles, any of them. They all had garbage. But they also had gems that no one would have known about if Microsoft or Nintendo or Sony didn't take a chance on unknown indie games. So, enough with that nonsense. Just enjoy what you enjoy and quit whining. Seriously. The next thing I want to talk about is, now this is in the rumor mill. I do want to be very clear that this is rumor. But rumor has it that Switch may be getting a port of Diablo 3. Do I think that it can happen? Absolutely. Do I think Switch can handle it? You bet. And here's why. Diablo 3 was on the 360 and PS3. Ultimate Edition, the whole thing. It may not look as, I'm sure it won't look as, definitely not as sharp on as it does on the Xbox One X and you know, PS4 or PS4 Pro or whatever. But to have a port of it that I can take with me in my hand just absolutely thrills me to no end. I love the idea behind having a portable Diablo. You know, they did, when Skyrim came out, I was over the moon, even though I had played thousands of hours. And you think I'm kidding? You should see my Switch account. It's ridiculous. Thousands of, you know, on Elder Scrolls games and Skyrim, and then they came out with Skyrim on Switch, and it was brilliant. So yeah, I believe it can happen, and I do think it's going to happen. And I think what's going to happen is that they're going to announce it at E3, and maybe a couple months later we'll have actually Diablo on our system. They're probably even working on it right now. That's my 2 cents. Again, I don't have any insides on this. I'm just saying my view is that that's what's happening. That they posted something about it, and now they're kind of backtracking because it's not supposed to be announced till E3 or some other event, maybe a Nintendo Direct or something like that. So, really excited about that. Now, another thing that kind of absolutely thrilled about is I got a phone call from my brother, and he told me, Media Bro, he told me that Crackdown had been released on the Xbox One, and I thought he was trolling me. You know, on the backwards compatibility, it's not a brand new Xbox One game, but I thought he was joking, and so, you know, we were talking about it a little bit. He said, no, it really is happening. okay, so pick myself up a copy. Wish I'd kept my original, but I decided to pick myself up a copy of Crackdown, and it popped into my Xbox One, and sure enough, it looks fantastic. It runs fantastic. Super excited that it actually exists, that they're actually doing this. I think that Microsoft is really hitting a home run with their backwards compatibility stuff. It might be kind of slow at this point, but I'm not going to complain when I have Crackdown. And they also released Fable Anniversary, and some other games. I apologize for not knowing the whole thing, but you can go to Xbox.com and look under backwards compatibility, and they'll have a full list for you, including the Xbox originals, which I don't think they've done much with recently. But and Fable Anniversary is part of the Game Pass now, so if you have Game Pass, you can just download that. Otherwise, I think they're about $15 or something like that. Or just go to GameStop or some local game store and buy a physical copy pre-owned. They generally have a ton of them, and they're cheaper than the digital. But so good news there. And I do want to talk a little bit about the Xbox while we're on the Xbox. As some of you know, I have been a little hard on my previous shows on the Xbox. You know, I said such things as no games, and that I wasn't excited about Xbox One X. You know, I don't care because they're going to be the same games. You can play the same games on Xbox One. And I do want to clarify, at no point did I say that the Xbox or the Xbox brand is garbage. In fact, I fell in love with Xbox when Halo came out, and I actually played it at a GameStop and beat it. This was between work, apparently. So I'd go every day and play it, and the guy was really nice to me and just allowed me to keep going. And I finished it at GameStop, and then, of course, got my own copy when Xbox came out. But I think, you know, they're a fantastic company. I love, well, I'm a little irritated at Windows 10, but we don't need to go there right now. But I do think, as far as you know, the Xbox brand, it's a great brand, and I'm glad they're there and all that stuff. But you know, I always like to be honest as far as how I'm viewing how they're doing. You know, and for a while it was just no games, no this, no that, and they have a few more games coming out. Sea of Thieves looks great. Crackdown, the new one, Crackdown 3, 3, looks great. And while I'm on that, I do have a feeling that they're going to come out with Crackdown 3 and probably have Crackdown 1 and 2 as downloadable freebies. That's my guess. Again, I don't have any ins, but we'll see. Mark my words. But I think that they're, you know, I've actually absolutely done a 360. Oh, no pun intended. But just, you know, a complete 180 on this. And the backwards compatibility is just awesome. It's much better than I thought it would be. Just playing Crackdown, it looks great. They say it's 9 times more graphically intense on the Xbox One X, and I'll go with that. I have no idea because it's been a while since I played it on the Xbox 360. But it does look great. It does run super smooth. The textures look pretty, you know, high res, and 60 frames per second, I'm sure. Just it looks better than I remember. So I'm sure that it's enhanced. I'm 100%, but is it 9 times enhanced? I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm having such a good time playing it, and I will post a video hopefully very soon of some gameplay. But if you haven't played Crackdown, do it. Go for it. It's fantastic. But anyway, going off on that, I didn't mean to. Like I said, I love the game, but I think Microsoft is doing fantastic. This is my go-to console now for AAA games, because on a 4K television, or even on a 1080, I played it on both. The games just look phenomenal. The extra textures, you can tell the difference. The colors are richer, they're deeper, and maybe you're not a graphics person, and that's fine, but it immerses you more in the game. And with the addition of Dolby Atmos, it's an experience I really, it's going to sound funny and maybe cheesy, but that I dreamed of having when I played the PS2 and the PS1 and all those games back then. I wish that they were more immersive. You know, especially PS1, they'd have these amazing cinematics, and then you get to the gameplay, like in Final Fantasy VII, and you're these blocky little characters. You know, we have these photorealistic, almost photorealistic graphics. So I think the Xbox One is doing great. I think it's going to have a great E3. I think all three are going to have great E3s, to be honest. But absolutely enjoying myself, and definitely recommend, you know, if you have the wherewithal, you get your tax return, and you're debating if it's worth, you know, and you're an Xbox guy especially, you're debating if it's worth getting the X. It's definitely worth it, I think, personally. Now, I don't work for Microsoft. I don't get anything from Microsoft. This is just my opinion, and you know, my 2 cents on the whole thing. So if you have an extra, you know, $500 like most of us do lying around, it's definitely worth it, or, you know, even trading in your Xbox One, because you can tell the difference. There's no doubt. I mean, this right here, what you're looking at, is obviously Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm sure you know that, on the Xbox One X. I'm not sure how good it's going to look on YouTube, you know, if you can see all the details, in other words. But just runs incredibly well, looks gorgeous, and absolutely worth it. Microsoft's doing great. You know, I'm not going to really mention Sony. Sony's fine. They're doing fine. But if you want the best experience in AAA, it is right now, at this point, the Xbox One X. So Sony fanboys, don't get mad at me. PS4 Pro is great, and Sony does have a lot more exclusives, at least off the top of my head that I can think of. You know, right there, Sony is kind of tops, and they are the best console to record with, at least for me, because you hit the share button and you're recording, and you don't have to worry about all the fancy Elgato hookup. And I do have an Elgato, and actually recorded this on the DVR on the Xbox One. The only problem was that the audio doesn't come through, so my voice doesn't come through. Which, if you don't like my voice, it's not a problem for you. But if you're watching this, this is gameplay that I had recorded earlier, and I'm speaking over it. And if you guys ever want to see a video on how I record myself, let me know. You know, still a small YouTuber, but I have learned quite a bit on how to make a good video. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much what I have right now. I do want to talk, or kind of give a couple quick shout-outs for Spawnwave, first and foremost, where I get my news, a lot of my gaming news. You know, when I first watched his channel, I was like, here's another guy trying to do YouTube videos, because there's so many YouTubers, and throwing out news and blah, blah, blah. But he really is kind of my go-to, where I, you know, get a lot of my daily YouTube news. So, great channel. And I think he's, you know, he doesn't need me to shout him out. He's got about 10 times the subscribers I do, which is fine. I am super just jazzed to have what I have, and I do believe we'll be hitting 10,000 in the next few months. But so check out his channel. I'll leave links to all these different shout-outs. Switch Planet is another one. They're very just very cool gaming videos. They don't do a whole lot as far as, I think, original content. I know that sounds terrible to say about another channel, because it is really just kind of clips put together of different videos. But I always like to watch them because they show, you know, like everything coming out that they know of coming out in March, what's coming out in February, and you know, give you dates. And so it's a very well done channel. So check them out. They're a great one to, if you're a Switch person like me. Now, if you don't have a Switch and don't like the Switch, then, well, it'd be kind of a waste. So, and if you don't, what's wrong with you? The other one is Superhero Game. I hope I wrote that down right. If I didn't, I apologize. Superhero Game. I will have a link in the description. So it's either Superhero Game or Superhero Games. But I was watching a video with Wood from Beat 'em Ups, and there was a couple other people. I apologize, guys. I was a little sleepy when I was watching it, but this gentleman came on, and he was just talking about how he deleted his channel, and I think he had millions of subscribers. I know he was really popular, because he wanted to connect more with his family and, you know, get his ducks in a row and all that. And I fully respect that. But this is an excellent channel. Really fun. It just, you know, it seems very family friendly. Again, I haven't watched every video. I just don't have time. But what I've seen of it, really enjoyed it. He brings up a lot of good points, and you know, he does some Let's Plays and some news type stuff, some information, much like what I do. So check out his channel. Again, Superhero Game, I believe Games. But again, I'll leave the link in the description, links to all these. And of course, last but not least is Beat 'em Ups, which I know a lot of you guys know. You're probably laughing at me now because I've got, you know, 8,000 subscribers, and I don't know, he's got 150. I don't know how much he has. But really, my whole thing with this is just to let you guys know some of the channels out there you can watch, because there's a ton of YouTubers out there. There's a ton of YouTube channels. Some of them are great, and some of them aren't worth watching for 5 minutes. And so these are a few great channels. If you have a gaming channel and you want me to do a shout out, I'm going to try and make this a weekly thing. Let me know in the comments. Now, a couple things, just to be clear, I don't do political stuff. This is to kind of get away from all of it. I won't even talk about politics on my channel unless it's gaming politics, like, you know, EA not making stuff for Switch because they're dumb. Stuff like that. Although they did just put out Faye, which is a pretty cool game. But, you know, them not supporting things like that. You know, I may talk about like gaming politics, but I'm never going to talk about politics because that's for other channels. You know, I really want my channel to be kind of a getaway and a place where we can just all enjoy some good conversation about my favorite hobby and your favorite hobby, and just have a great time with it. So, and kick butt in Assassin's Creed. Oh, I'm getting poked. Anyway, guys, I love you all. I really do. Let me know what you guys think. What do you want to hear about in Mediarant? Again, this is a constantly evolving, changing channel. So, you know, I want this to be the best channel for you guys, so let me know what kind of content you want to see. And I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next video. And please, if you do like this content, think about supporting me on Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. Give me more time to do more content. Either way, thank you guys for being a part of the Media Man clan, and thank you for being a Media Man fan. I love you all. Peace out.